Hi, and welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. I have not changed one bit ever since the last time we saw. I still remain Osufela, and today we're going to be discussing something very, very juicy: vaginal health. Yes, vaginal health. And if you ask me, I'll just say it is something that everybody. Reproductive health is something. It's a joint responsibility. It's not a matter of a function of I am a man or I'm a woman. At some point, you live with a man. At some point, you live with a woman. Either married to them or cohabiting, so you become part of their lives, and it's just important that we have some basic information so that we do not carry some misconceptions and judge by that. My table is quite full today. Aside from my very sweet pineapple juice, I have this Activa, and I also have this. I'm going to be telling us the importance in vaginal health in the course of this video, so it's very important that you watch every bit of this informative health video. Very, very important. I'm actually making this video because over the past few weeks I got questions from people asking me about vaginal steaming and vaginal perfumes. I really don't know why people want the vagina to smell like strawberry, like coconut, like banana. Hey lovelies, your vagina does not need any perfume or fragrance, and I'm going to be giving us all the details needed in this video. You don't need all that. The vagina can take care of itself as far as I'm concerned, and that I know medically, really. So in this video we're going to be talking about vagina length, size, variations, vaginal floor muscle, pelvic floor muscle. We're going to be talking about misconceptions and myths about the vaginal wideness or tightness, like some people will put it, and vaginal health or vaginal care. How do I take care of my vagina? How do I maintain my vagina? Don't go nowhere. It's still Osufela Health and Lifestyle channel, and we'll be to the business of the day. Like I said earlier, we're going to start with what the vagina really is. In the simple, clear term, the vagina is a muscular organ. You can say an elastic, closed muscular organ that extends from the vulva to the neck of the uterus. The vulva is the right medical pronunciation for the external female genitalia, the clitoris, the labia majora, that's the big lip, and the labia minora, the small lip. As time goes on, we're going to be having graphics so that we can understand each other better. And the length of the vagina ranges from, it's slightly curved in an adult female, and the length ranges from 7 cm to 12 centimeter. That is not to say that every female will have the same vaginal length or size. Imagine, just note that I said it's a range. It is a range. It means that no, if you put 10 women together, then I do not expect that they have the same vaginal size, width, or length. Then we should also know that the vagina is quite elastic. This is an elastic. It means that it can stretch and can also regain back its size and shape. Stretching during labor process, when the woman wants to give birth to a child, or during sexual exercises, or during gynecological procedures where you have to insert the coscos and all of that. It can stretch and then go back to its shape and size. Now we're going to move to still talking about the vagina shape and size, and then what people label as vagina being too tight or too wide. I would like to say I may be disproving that, because there is no medical or any theoretical thing written down to state that the vagina can be really wide or too tight. The only misconception we have here is the fact that there are things called vaginal muscles or pelvic floor muscles. These are muscles that support the organs of the pelvis. Do we understand? So the variation of people talking about a vagina being too tight or too loose is not actually talking about the entrance of the vagina. We are going to be technically referring to the pelvic floor muscles, which can be affected by a whole lot of things. Age is there, menopause, chronic cough, lifting, weight, constipation. If you are someone that gets constipated constantly or every time, then the vaginal floor muscle of such person may be a little bit not as intact or firm like someone that is not experiencing constipation. And that is not to say it will happen in every population of women, no. please. Childbirth can also affect the pelvic floor muscle, and that is not to state that the vagina will not regain its size and shape after childbirth. It will, but it might not be as it is in the pre-pregnancy state. It might not be. Take note of that, because I like to be very practical. I did not do a random sample of every woman on planet Earth after childbirth, but I know that medically it states that it might not be. For some women might be lucky that the vagina regain back its shape, and it also depends on their lifestyle, because there are some exercises that are regulated and can help a woman's pelvic floor muscle after child. Even before childbirth, you can do these exercises, which we will still talk about. So let us also note that there are normal floras of the vagina. There are normal bacterials of the vagina. I love the lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria present in the vagina. There are some bacteria you should love. That's very good because it makes that place really good. It keeps the pH of the vagina between 4.0 and 4.5. We're going to be talking more about the lactobacillus when we speak about the vaginal care, which I think is the last part I should be treating right about now. So when a man is married to a woman and he says that after childbirth, yes, it can happen. Yes, it can happen that it doesn't return to its pre-pregnancy state, but there are things that we should understand that can happen, and we should help our partner to cope with, and we should also help them with these exercises we can be a part of their lives. Support and partnership is very important in marriage. Now we're going to go into vagina care. How do I take care of my vagina? Number one, please allow the vagina to take care of itself. The vagina can take care of itself. You do not need anything to wash the vagina. Anything that is not part of the natural process, please avoid it. Vagina perfume, vagina steaming, you don't need all that. I see them write it on Instagram. Smoothing your turkey, make your turkey go good, make your turkey look nice, make your turkey do this, make your turkey do that. You don't need all that, because you are going to be obstructing the natural balance of the vagina. Remember, I spoke about the lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria. This bacteria produces what? Lactic acid, hydrogen peroxide, and some other substances that keep your vagina slightly acidic between 4.0 and 4.5. By the time you start introducing these unnatural substances to your body, you are going to be killing the colony of that bacteria. And by the time you do, you are going to be exposing yourself to a lot of infection that can travel up to your uterus, cause infertility, cause scarring, cause multi-drug resistance infection. That reproductive health is not something that you just want to joke around with. Health is not something you want to joke around with. Vagina is something you should love. I love every organ of my body. I don't know how we see it or how others see it, but I'm very, very protective of my reproductive, because it's very important to my womanhood. Yes, very, very important to my womanhood. So aside the fact that the bacteria that colonize that place, by the time you get all this vagina steaming, introduce all these external things to your vagina, you are going to be disrupting the colony of bacteria, like I said earlier. All you need to do is wash. Bathe twice daily. You don't even need to wash the inside of the vagina. This bacteria produces mucus that also takes care of this the inside of the vagina, the internal part of the vagina. Yes, they produce mucus that absorbs blood, sperm, and any other dirt you may think of. So you don't even need to poke your hand into the vagina and say, I'm washing my vagina. You really don't need that. Douching, you don't need it. Just wash outside of the vagina. Water. Wash the labia minora, wash the majora, bathe twice daily, keep clean, and you're good. Very good. Avoid multiple sexual partner. It's part of vaginal health. If you cannot practice abstinence, if you are not married, avoid multiple sexual partner. Get yourself tested, hepatitis B test. Take your vaccines, hepatitis B vaccine, take the HPV vaccine, take every vaccine that you're supposed to take, and ensure that your partner takes their vaccine as well. Very, 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 very important, please. Very, very important in vaginal care. Also, there are some exercises that you can do to improve your vaginal health, such as Kegel exercise. Kegel exercise is very simple exercise. You are training the muscles, you are training your pelvic floor muscle, holding it a little for 5 to 10 seconds. You can count 1 to 20, 1 to 30, depending on your strength, and releasing it. You can even do it while sitting down. Hold the vaginal floor muscle. You can read about Kegel exercise and get the Kegel app. There are also things we call vagina weights. These weights, they are actually inserted into the vagina. It's quite healthy, inserted into the vagina, and once inserted, what it does, it has two ends, one in and one out. You can pull out through the one that is out, you understand? So naturally, when you insert this weight into the vagina, the body like grab it. That is a passive contraction. It contracts passively to grab it. You can also now use your active contraction, so that you do both active and passive contraction. The active contraction will be your Kegel. You are holding up the vaginal muscles and releasing it. It's quite healthy as well. Then when avoid straining, avoid constipation, please. Eat very high fiber diet so that you avoid strain, avoid heavy lifting, excess weight gain that can aside that, remember I spoke about the lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria, the normal flora in the vagina. You can still get them in food too, especially in yogurts. I take a lot of yogurts when I was in Nigeria because I know it's important for my vaginal health. There are live strains of this bacteria present in some yogurts. The yogurt that are written that have starter culture in them, not fan yogurt. I don't know if it's in fan yogurt. The ones that taste a bit sour, they have starter culture in them, and they contain live strains of these lactobacillus bacteria. They are believed that they can pre-colonize that area and help them to regrow in case you have tamper with them using douching, taking drugs, infections and all that. Then this is some like this kind of yogurt, Activa, is very good. Look at it, it has probiotic actives in it. So I tell you what, this probiotic active is really very good. It means there are live strains of this of the bacteria I spoke about in those yogurts. So when you take it, it is believed to be able to recolonize that area and help the normal flora of the vagina to grow back. Then there are smaller ones of these too. It mustn't be this active. I just always take yogurt as a woman, yogurt that contains starter cultures, or you see a bacteria culture or culture media in them as part of the ingredients. It's very good. Those ones that taste a bit sour, it's really very good for your vaginal health. Then this kind of suppository is very, very good. So you know, when I was in Nigeria, a lot of drug companies come to my hospital as the head nurse. They bring a lot of samples to me and want me to. So I kept this because I found it very useful. I've not used it before, but there is something they said, lactobacillus pus 150 million. Aside from the fact that this will treat infection, because a lot of time when women get infection, we give them suppositories like this to use overnight. A lot of them that I've seen do not have this lactobacillus pus, but this has it. So I think it's very good if you are treating it. Medical personnel, midwives, when you are recommending, you can. I don't know the particular name, I don't know the company. I'll find out. Okay, I think this is by Bliss or something. I'll find out and probably write it in the description box for us. But it's very good if we are going to be treating, so that when we treat, it also helps us with the natural colony of the lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria. So I think that will be the end of today's vaginal care video. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM. I'm always open to your questions. Thank you very much for always staying by, and if you have not subscribed, please kindly do so. I remain Osofela, and I'll see you some other time.